All right, today we're going to talk about the invisible force that shapes every single workplace out there, organizational behavior. You know, it's the human side of business, and by the end of this, you'll get the key principles that make a company either thrive or just completely fall apart.
Have you ever felt this? You walk into one office and there's just this buzz, this energy, right? People are collaborating, ideas are flying. Then you walk into another one and it just feels dead, you know? Low energy, tons of tension. What is the real difference here?
Well, here's the secret. The answer isn't in the business plan or the spreadsheet. Nope, it's in the people. Understanding how they think, what really drives them, and how they interact with each other, that's the human element that can literally make or break any organization.
So this whole study of the human element actually has a name, organizational behavior, or just OB for short. So let's really unpack what that means.
At its core, the idea is actually incredibly simple. OB is basically the science of people at work. It's about systematically studying how individuals and groups act within a company's structure. It's really just about paying attention and understanding what's going on at a human level.
Now, what's really interesting about this classic definition is that last little part, to improve organization performance. You see, we don't just study this stuff for fun. We do it with the goal to make the organization better. And that makes OB an incredibly practical and valuable field to know about. And this pretty much sums it up perfectly. It's a three-step process, right? You start by actually observing people. From there, you get a much deeper understanding of their behavior. You figure out the why behind what they do. And once you have that understanding, you can make changes that lead to way better results for everybody.
So OB looks at behavior on 3 different levels. First, you have the individual. What motivates this one person? What's their personality like? Then we zoom out a bit to the group. How do teams talk to each other? How do they handle conflict? And finally, we zoom out even further to the whole system, the company culture, the structure that shapes how everyone inside it acts.
Okay, so the theory is interesting, but why does this actually matter to you? Well, because organizational behavior isn't just some boring academic subject. It's a practical toolkit you can use for your entire career.
So let's get specific. How does knowing this stuff actually give you an advantage? Whether you're working on a group project right now or you're about to start your first job next year.
Look, studying OB gives you the skills that great managers use every single day. You learn to actually get your colleagues, to build teams that really click and collaborate, and to get your ideas across with real impact. You'll get the tools to navigate the drama and the changes that are bound to happen. It's basically the playbook for becoming a great team member. And yeah, eventually a really effective leader.
And believe me, the difference is night and day. Without OB knowledge, a manager might just try some clumsy one-size-fits-all approach. But with it, you get that an extrovert might need that team energy, while an introvert does their best work with some quiet, focus time. When conflict pops up, you know how to mediate instead of just letting it get worse. The key point is this: you stop guessing and you start using strategy.
All right, let's make this even more real. We're going to look at a simple, real-world scenario to see how these ideas can totally transform a workplace.
So, picture this. A company that's really struggling. So what does management do? They apply OB principles. They tackle the motivation problem head-on with performance rewards. To fix the bad teamwork, they start having regular meetings to open up communication. And they invest in training their leaders. The result? A complete turnaround. You've got happy, effective employees and a super productive company. It's a straight line from understanding the human problem to achieving real business success.
So as we start to wrap up, what's the one big idea you should really take away from all of this?
It's this: organizational behavior is like a special lens for seeing the human side of work. It gives you the tools to understand why people do what they do, to predict how they might react, and ultimately to manage behavior to create companies that aren't just more productive, but are genuinely better places to be.
So, I'll leave you with this question. Think about your next team project. What's one principle you've picked up here, maybe about motivation or communication or teamwork, that you can use right away to make it better? That, right there, is the power of organizational behavior in action.